That's the question. Who started it?
Who's starting it?
Who always starts
starting it? Is that even a question?
All right,
anyways,
even
a question?
Calm me down.
It's already recording. You don't get a countdown.
What the hell? This is some garbage, dog. You see how they do me on the podcast, royalty? Nah, it's over. It's over. We passed it. It's starting the episode now.
I tried.
We authentic.
I'm not gonna lie, Daisy. I think the countdown is happening because people are tired today.
It can't be that damn tired.
I'm awake. I'm wide awake right now.
Y'all can't be that
wide
damn
awake
tired.
and livid because fucking people are.
I got 3 hours of sleep last night. I can be tired.
Rachel, I would be with you. I would be with you if I didn't average like 4.5 hours for the last like 6 weeks.
No, I'm someone like I need like at least 9 hours of sleep a night.
Yeah, I'm with Rachel. I need like at least 8.
But in the last
I can't do it.
month and a half, I haven't gotten more than 5 hours of sleep in a night.
See, you on my wave. I realize it's starting to catch up with me because I've been very irritable. But we're gonna ride through.
And we're getting older, so
Yeah, no.
Age has nothing to do with it. Age has
Deji,
yes, it does. We're literally in the prime of our lives. Like I don't know. We're not even in our primes. We're in the beginning of like
the
our
best
prime
cold open of all time.
I'm saying back in the day, I could get 2 hours of sleep, wake up feeling like a champ. Like it ain't nothing. That's like, quick little power nap.
You feel
I'm
it.
gonna feel that shit in the morning. I'm just saying.
I'm still dead. I think that's what it is.
I'm with you,
man.
Right?
Those hangovers as you get older are no joke.
And I used to be like a fucking tank, and I had like some Trulies and some like Pink Whitney, and I was done.
Pink Whitney's good.
I mean, it's delicious, but it's 30%. Like I used to be, I literally, when I say I was a tank, I was a fucking tank.
Honestly,
I had like 5 Trulies and a little bit of Pink Whitney, and I'm dead.
What's the point of being a tank though? Like, what's the satisfaction? I was thinking about this the other day because people clown you if you're not a tank, but like you're doing more damage by being a tank. Y'all remember the True Life? I'm a binge drinker, and the one dude who was like he was like a big white boy, like frat style, and like he only binge drink, but because of that, he had like cirrhosis by his senior year, like it was terrible.
Yeah.
So that's how I was like
binge drink every fucking day. Like
circumstantially, being a tank was good for like drinking games and stuff because I was in a sorority in college and we had beer Olympics every year, and like I could fucking hold it down. But
I'm
gonna tell you the people you never
because it's cheaper.
Yep.
You have like 2 or 3 drinks, you're feeling good, just call it a day.
That used to be me, man, until I started getting the tolerance, and then I just went through. I am gonna start calling football teams fraternities because I feel like it's just along those lines. I was thinking about
it is a fraternity. It's a
brotherhood. It is a brotherhood if you think about it.
I was thinking about it because for whatever reason in my head, local legend moment, I was thinking about the time that we had lost the Benedictine. And it was like a last drive type of thing. And we thought little did we know, we still had a chance at conference at the end of the year. But that night at the party, everybody was like, the season's over. So everybody just got tore up. And when I mean tore up, I'm going to tell you that I woke up with my pants half off. For some reason, there was throw up in my dresser. There was it was a mess. It was a mess. And I realized
throw up in your dress. Jesus.
I realized something the other day. College Deji was a different type of alcoholic, right?
He never told you the other story what he did.
I'm gonna tell it right now. So one time, right?
Local legend moment.
I had gotten drunk.
Number 5.
When Tess was there.
Exactly. I had gotten so drunk, bro. So drunk. I didn't even know who I was. I'm talking about, you could have called me Dan Marino or Rick.
Dan Marino.
You could have called me Dan Marino. And I would have been like, yep, that's me. So basically this story ends up, right? We come back from the party. I'm still lit, right? I head straight to the bed, fully clothed, everything. And anybody that knows me, that's gross because I don't even try to touch the bed in my outside clothes. So that's already the first thing down. So as I fall asleep, right, I wake up in the middle of the night. I'm belligerent. I can't see. Bro, I didn't even make it to the bathroom. I pissed in my room. Like I literally stood up and pissed in my room, but I specifically pissed on Tessa's stuff. Like wild. Tess was like, I was yelling at you. You didn't do shit. I was like, son, I wouldn't do that. The next morning, she had me washing her clothes, and she's like, "Go wash my fucking clothes." I said, "Oh, I don't even know that I did this, but I'll just take that L because that's who I am. I'm respectable like that." You know what I'm saying?
Respectable after you just march your territory on her clothes.
I guess in that sense, yes, I'm an alpha. I'm an alpha male.
That's crazy.
An alpha male.
Who are you, Daisy? I don't even know you anymore,
That's what,
bro.
There's, like I said,
I don't even fucking know you anymore.
Daisy's just pissing on stuff. That's what he is.
If I look back and I think about it, was I a different person? Yes. But college.
Yeah.
Yeah. College. Pissing on girls'
right.
stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Stop acting like it was a thing. That's something I could only get off with a girlfriend. That's not something you
college,
get off with.
right? I'm thinking about it. College.
That's not something you get off with a random. Because a random gonna beat you.
You know, man. Maybe they're into piss stuff. You don't know. People like some freaky shit.
Yeah.
I'm not into
College, right? It's got me thinking college, right? A place where athletes go to get an education, and then we have all these other people who never got a college diploma telling them to just shut up and dribble.
Oh, you talk about my man LBJ.
Didn't he not?
Yeah.
Say that one time, Rachel?
LeBron never did.
Yeah,
He never did. But
I see what you were trying to do.
I'm just talking about in general.
I'm
talking about in general. Like,
let's get into it.
I mean, most athletes don't really apply themselves like crazy. I'm not gonna say most athletes. Actually, I would say the smart ones at least try to find a field that they can get into after they're done with their actual athletic career.
Correct.
But it seems like I just want to come from the ignorant side of, here in this country, we just think athletes just don't know shit about shit, really. You just think they're supposed to play a certain sport and that's it. Almost just like somebody who flips burgers at McDonald's, that's all they know. It's just flipping burgers at McDonald's, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, so are you asking us whether...
Well, my
that
question,
was so long-winded.
I don't know.
I was like, what a question.
It really was.
I was trying
my
to
question is, should athletes just shut up and play their sport and not give their opinions on politics at all or political views on anything? Or should they utilize their platforms when they actually know what they're talking about to bring some light to the situations? And we'll start with whoever wants to go first. And Rachel, your face.
Rachel, her face was like, well, let's.
I guess I'm just killing all these regular Joes out here talking shit about athletes.
I think it's good that like LeBron and people in sports do speak up because they're such big icons and people listen to them. They have a following like on social media and that. So I just feel like it's always good to speak out, whether you are LeBron or like a lower tier player. But no matter what, you have followers, so your voice will be heard. I think back in the day, though, like that was the case, but there wasn't social media. So the only media you has was like just the, like reporters in the news. So like even
so like an interview,
they can just scramble your words though. So like people that could speak up, say they spoke up, like their voice may not be heard correctly either because it's not coming straight. You know what I mean? Like just like putting in the newspaper articles and stuff, people just, pick what they want. So, but yeah, I mean, I think like LeBron or like any of them, it's just, I mean, it's been great so far. Like, what's been going on? Like, no matter what, like, with just like even like the sports world, like trying to like even help, well, especially in the NBA, like help players speak out in that. Like, there's more, you know what I mean? There's more like you guys can wear what you want to wear, like to speak out about like whether it be Black Lives Matter or something, you know what I mean? Like something like that represents, especially LeBron. So I know you're talking about LeBron mostly. That's why I'm referring to him. But like the NBA, especially, like Adam Silver, I think has done a good job in trying to help the players, like in any situation, like help them like get their voice heard. So
Yeah,
that's what I think.
I think it's good for sports like that. I mean, I don't have a problem with anyone saying their political view as long as they're educated on what they're saying. Like,
Yeah.
I don't really care who it is.
It's very loaded because no matter what, you're never going to win. You're never going to make everyone happy. And
Very true.
You're going to face a lot of criticism. So there are people like, and I don't know, like there are people who are celebrated for speaking out on political matters. There are people whose careers are ended because they speak out on political matters. And then there are the people who see, you know, it changing their career, like changing others' careers. So they're like, you know what, I'm not going to say something, and not saying something is also saying something. So, I mean, we put not just athletes, but celebrities in a difficult position because we expect them to use their platform, but then criticize them for using their platform. So it's one of those things that like, you're never going to make everyone happy with what you do or what you say or what you do or don't say. Like it's just kind of fucked, and you can only do what you think is right. And I mean, like, that's it. Like, you're never going to make everyone happy. Something you're going to say or how you play your game even is just going to piss someone off no matter what you do. So if you're going to speak up, like, go for it. If you're not, like, that's another thing too. Like, you're just never going to make anyone happy. So
yeah, I guess my issue, all of it, is just the hypocrisy of all of it. Like, yeah, people like Cody, I get my job, bro, Covington, telling LeBron to shut up and dribble and not talk about politics, or coming at him for his China views when, bro, you sitting here telling everyone you MAGA this, you MAGA that, talking about your political views. Just shut up and fight then and get in the cage and get your ass whooped, bro. I guess that's my issue when people do shit like that. And it's just kind of just like, I don't know. And then another thing, you go on Twitter and you see people just saying all this shit about China and LeBron's view on China. But if they were in the same position he was in when he was over in China, and you were working for a company and you had somebody in your company tweet some wild shit about China when you were over there, it's like, at least wait for us to get on the plane and get back over here, bro, before you say some shit like that.
I was going to say, like, kind of for racial stuff too. This reminds me of like, Daisy's talking to Suki. I know he is.
Yes, I was.
Yeah, I know you were. He was making the hand movement. You see how much odd right now?
My man was calling a whole audible, bro. Like, what the
fuck? Right now?
My man called a whole audible.
Right, like it's 9, almost 10 o'clock at night. You over here cooking this shit.
I knew exactly what he was saying. I was saying, it reminds me of, like, when Rachel was saying, like basically, damned if you do, damned if you don't. Like, you know what I mean? Like, say things at your own risk. Like, that girl, like the actress from, like, Mandalorian, when she thinks she's saying the right thing, right? Because that's her opinion, but it just ends your career. Mm-hmm. Like, that's just,
see,
but like people may like, you know, like see your point of view. Like, there's people on Twitter, if you go through those comments, where like they agree with it. But like, you're a movie star by Disney. You can't say that like Republicans, you know, support like, it was, what was it? It was like something about the Nazis,
should say that Republicans are treated like Jews were treated during the Holocaust.
Yeah, like,
wow,
like,
that's
why would you say some stupid shit like that and expect to not get fired from your job?
Like, you could say that in such a different way to get your point across. But like, you're on a Disney show, like Disney-owned show. You just can't be. You could say what you want, but you cannot like just.
It all depends on the company
you're
working for, man.
But that's like Rachel, like saying like career ender. You can say your political view as like a big star, but then You know what happens? Disney money gone. See you later.
I hear all that, but I feel like I look at it a lot differently because now I look at it like, what are you actually trying to spread, right? If you're talking about politics from the standpoint of like, oh, I support Trump, but I support Trump for these reasons, I'm not being biased. Like, I just don't want, like, you're not helping the situation, right? Trump is not helping people who are minorities, right? So that's my thing, right? If we look at the NBA, look at the things they said. They said Black Lives Matter. The WNBA and the NBA have tried to work together so women in the WNBA get paid more. So they're working on equal wages, right? And then on top of that, they're trying to fight for people who don't have a voice, right? Like, that's my biggest thing, right? The NFL got mad at Colin Kaepernick because he took a lead. Because if the NFL does what the NBA doing, guess what? There's going to be a lot of angry people who are not of the culture. That's all we have to say. Like,
You can say good.
No. I'm saying it because it's colorful.
It's the culture.
That's my new thing. It's this new thing. You're neither not of the culture or you're of the culture. So like that's the reason. That's the controversy, right? The controversy was that the NFL did not want to finally admit that the league is the culture. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing, you know, and that's my problem. Yeah, and that's my problem, right? These are people who
you can't let the slaves run the camp.
Exactly.
Come on,
my
man.
point.
That's a quote.
Exactly my point. Exactly my point.
That's
so if you're
quote,
getting, if you getting mad,
that's so like that, or like
just
like
the fact,
Clippers owner stuff, like
bro. That
shit is just like people
like,
don't even talk about it anymore like either. It's like, it just like didn't happen.
To me, I'm like, bro,
it's like,
bro, people are talking to me like, oh, Colin Kaepernick, let that man take a knee. Bro, he went all throughout the right protocol. You're just telling me how racist you are because you have a problem of a grown man exercising his right in America, but he happens to be of a certain skin tone.
Half of the motherfuckers can't even sing the full national anthem. Talking crazy.
That's all I have to say. They have pictures.
That's why the NFL's like backtracking now, though. Like, just like they just hired like, what was it, like the first woman ref or like black woman ref, and like
the first woman ref was to referee was in the Super Bowl this year.
Like the first women like for coaching allowed and like reffing and like just in general, like, and then it's like minority coaches, like you get certain amount of like picks and all that, and it's like they're just backtracking. This was never done like before, like you were saying. It like the NFL is so backwards, it's crazy. But like you said, it's the biggest thing in America, and like you said, not for the culture. NFL.
So I really get
you. It's
I'm
like
really just getting to the point. Like
they try to make it. They're like trying to like, you know what I mean? Like do the NBA, but the NBA's always been up front. They've been the best league with everything, no matter what.
Exactly.
And that's why going back like to LeBron, bringing it full circle, they support LeBron no matter what.
Hold on, let's get back to this
LeBron
Swedish,
and all the sports athletes.
This Swedish soccer player. I don't even remember his fucking name. That's how unimportant
Zoltan,
you are.
Or whatever.
Are you talking about God?
How are you going to come as somebody fighting
for
a political belief and saying athletes shouldn't do that, but LeBron called you out, put you on blast, and you were salty about them mispronouncing your name. And maybe if you talked about the stupid cultural, political effects that was going on in whatever league there's so many different soccer leagues, I don't even know. Charles, but maybe that would be more beneficial towards you as well.
I'm glad you're bringing up this point because, like Austin said, his man God is getting mad because people are mispronouncing his name, right? But it happened everywhere around the country. We just seen Prince Harry and Meghan damn near get excommunicated from the royal family because they was afraid of how a baby was going to turn out. How you already being racist to a person that ain't even born? What are you doing? What are you doing, Yemi? What are you doing? What are you doing? Mind your business. I do this, bro. Mind your damn business. You want a phone call? You see how I'm saying the disrespect? The disrespect. Anyways, back to my point.
This is why You gotta get your own place soon.
I'm not, but that's just disrespectful. She knows she's disrespectful for that.
Listen,
But
I
back
was
to my
just
point.
throwing it out there.
That's
Sounds
back
like
to my
you
point.
need your own space. That was all.
Back to my point. Because she thinks she's funny. She's laughing. That's why I'm like,
Suki is funny.
No,
Yeah.
don't. She's not. She's actually an ass
Funny?
sometimes.
She knows I think she's funny.
First of all, this is not even going to be on the podcast.
She's
I'm going to have to cut
definitely
this.
funnier than you.
Sure, she could keep it.
No, this can't be cut. This is all content.
I can't be having, I'll flip it out. But anyways.
Why don't you lock your door?
I'm in the living
He's
room.
in the living room.
Oh,
It's better lighting than down
you
here.
wild boy.
This is the couch. But anyways, like you were saying, right? Like I was saying, how are you going to hate on something that's not even born, bro? Like it's so innate in this world for whatever reason to hate people of a certain, I should say, hate people of the culture that like you're just automatically just casting off people that you don't even know. What if that little boy ends up becoming the greatest monarch in all of London's history, but you'll never know that because they left, right? But now I'm just as full circle, right? Because it's all these people who are getting mad that people are speaking up for their rights when they feel like they shouldn't have these rights. But it's like, my thing is, when do people feel like they have the power to dictate how people communicate? Because like the first thing that anybody who's a MAGA supporter will say, freedom of speech, this is a free country, I can say whatever I want. But then that same token, you tell the basketball player to shut up and dribble, or you tell the basketball player, you're so disrespectful, like you can't do that, you're taking a knee, or you know what I'm saying, stuff like that.
It's only when you disagree with what they're saying.
That's the funniest part, man.
But that's like
exactly what it is. Like if like MAGA people disagree with the NBA speaking out on Black Lives Matter, so they like boycott it. They disagreed with Nike for supporting Colin Kaepernick, so they burned all of their Nike shit. They just didn't agree with what was being said, so they decided that it was wrong. And
why are they so stupid with it though? Like, why are you burning something that you already purchased? They already got your bread. Like the symbolism is, if that's me, the symbolism don't mean shit to me, bro. You already spent the $75 for the sweatshirt.
See, the thing that gets me is like, all these people are talking about like the Hong Kong thing. Oh, he didn't talk about the Hong Kong protesters. And it's just like, y'all wasn't saying shit about them at all. Like, until y'all wanted to prove a point of somebody else not saying something about it. Like, y'all wasn't going to say anything about China getting down like that with Hong Kong, whatever. And I guarantee most of the shit your house is made by China, and you're still supporting China to this day buying all this shit. So what are we doing? Why don't you just stop buying all the shit that you're buying that's made by China then? If you really want to be really down with the cause, just buy only American made then.
Bro, we can't be mad at LeBron if we got an iPhone.
I'm just saying.
Hand. If you got any type of cell phone in your hand, you can't be mad at
that
LeBron.
Was made by exactly. That was made by that was child labor right there. You got a smartphone in your hands.
If you wear Nike,
I'm using a smartphone right now.
You wear Nike, you can't get mad at LeBron. Like we all implicit in this. Like
I just gotta go off on Kobe Covington again. I'm tired of this dude talking crazy, bro. Like,
Charles, calm down. You're spiraling, Charles.
He's over here talking. He tried to post something about LeBron and how much money he's got from Nike. And it's like, bro, all your brands that are sponsored by the UFC are by China as well. So why don't you shut the fuck up, acting like you better than somebody else?
China, like everything runs through China.
Damn.
Don't even
matter, bro. Why are we pointing the fingers at people and we doing the same shit? I guess I just don't like the hypocrisy in that. Like,
and this is what I
like all his shit American made. Like, no,
America is the greatest marketer of all time. Think about it. America will have you believing that because you buy an iPhone, you're giving money to somebody in Silicon Valley who started a great idea and you've made that brand tremendous. Knowing that Apple, because of their supply chain, literally got that phone made, and they all noticed, you literally got this phone made in China for maybe $10, maybe $50, because now they're doing so many new things to the phone, maybe. But that child is probably getting like 17 cents on the dollar. Y'all don't say nothing then. Y'all want to talk about all these damn fucking straws in the ocean and all this garbage. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
But y'all
man.
don't want to. You don't want to talk about that. If you want to talk about human rights, let's talk about human rights. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm tired of it, right? You can't pick and choose your battles, and that's the thing that if you're gonna be an adult in this country, you gotta learn that you can learn to disagree to agree, and you ain't gotta demonize nobody for that. Even more so, you should realize that everybody who's a human being has rights in this country. So I don't know why we fight that, right? Like, there's grown men who's saying that, oh, WNBA players should not get the same amount of pay, blah, blah, blah. But if you're a professional athlete and you have to play 2 leagues all year round, do you think that that's fair? Do you think that somebody like, let's be honest, somebody like Tristan Thompson is getting like $50 to $80 million a year to ride the bench, and somebody who's a superstar in the WNBA is not even getting $1 million? Superstar.
You'll really make me do this again. I ain't want to be that guy, but that's on us as a people for not watching the WNBA like that. That's on us as a whole for not boosting it like we do the NBA and making it as that as high as paying. Because that's totally different, bro. I'm going to be honest. I'm down. I want him to get paid as much as bum-ass Tristan Thompson's bum-ass getting paid. That's $60 million.
The thing with like the WNBA
no reason,
especially
bro.
is the TV rights money, and it's just like they don't get enough like fan revenue. Like, it's not that they shouldn't get paid like as much as NBA players. There's just like the money isn't there. Is what it really comes down to.
I would pay the best WNBA player 50 times as much as I would pay Tristan Thompson.
Oh my God, Charles.
If I could, I'm just being real. If I could,
Charles, now you're getting Tristan Thompson. Who do you like, Charles? That's
Tristan Thompson, bro.
I've heard a lot of hate today.
I'm with Charles.
What is he famous for now? Ever since, besides cheating on Khloe Kardashian, what is he famous for? What has he done in the NBA? Nothing.
Nothing.
This got paid because he won a championship on the back of LeBron. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing, man?
Damn, Charles.
Oh man,
I think you just hate the NBA. Should we just shut it down?
No, what? I love the NBA. What? But I do think there has to be a better way. Like, you got to think about all the leagues.
Should be.
Bro, gamers make more than WNBA players, and that just started, dog.
E-gamers make more than a lot of people.
Streaming money is crazy, man.
But I'm saying,
it makes no sense either.
It doesn't even make any sense. So, like, if I'm a WNBA,
they make so much money off of kids watching them play games, which is banana land. It's literally bananas.
Kids are. It's weird because kids, like, they get enjoyment from watching people, like, sitting back and just watching other people do life.
Yeah,
like, it's
weird.
You know what I want to get rid of?
Game.
I want to get rid of the stigma that, like, for some reason, it's always been a stupid stigma, even though I've always known, like, girl gamers. Like, I want to get rid of the stigma that girls don't play video games, because I know some girls who are really badass at playing video games.
There's a lot of girls
I think
streamers.
that's a market that, like, they can come in and just, like, fucking, you know what I'm saying? It's exploding. I mean, they're already there, but, like, I think we should push for that more.
Charles, they already have.
There's girls that play video games, and I follow on Twitch.
No.
But there's also girls that not only stream video games, I don't know if they're good at them.
I know some.
But they be posting pictures that are questionable as well.
Hold on,
get more followers.
Let's go.
Wow. We're not going to go down this rabbit hole. We're talking about this episode was supposed to be about if athletes should just shut up and dribble.
We won't talk about the
or play their sport.
Sorry.
Men. We just got to take a minute, right? How are we going to talk about all this women stuff and not even include Rachel? See, this is the stuff that Rachel be talking about.
That's what I'm saying.
Congrats, Rachel. Happy International Women's Day.
There we go. Happy International Women's Day.
Wow, we're just as bad as fucking Burger King UK. Jesus,
I walked into the apartment today and said, "Hey, Kate, congrats on Happy International Women's Day today."
Yeah,
we're just as bad as
we didn't even post anything on the IG or Twitter. We're fools. Look at us. But anyways.
Just as bad as Burger King UK, man. They tweeted women
belong
in the kitchen today for some reason.
That was wild.
Just to get a reaction out of people. What the fuck does that even mean?
People like that shock and awe stuff. You already know it. It just gets
I know what they were trying to do, but like at the same time.
They posted that SpongeBob. They posted that SpongeBob song, and it was like when your girl's looking, like it's like when your girl's looking at Burger King, and it's like It's like when the Krusty Krab in the chum bucket, like Mr. Krabs is singing the plankton. It was some weird ass shit.
It didn't make no sense. It didn't make no sense.
No. And whoever tweeted it from Suburban King is a fool.
All right.
It was funny.
Rachel, your thoughts, because I know we've been doing a lot of mansplaining. Yeah, we've been doing a lot of
mansplaining.
I mean, it all just comes from years and years and years of ingrained sexism, and we've come, pretty far in the fact that most people can acknowledge that women are equals, but it's not going to become anywhere near equal for a significant amount of time. I mean, if you're thinking about just overcoming blatant sexism in the country and in society, like it's not going to happen overnight as much as we want it to. So like, yeah, we should be paying more attention to the WNBA and female leagues of absolutely everything and anything, but we're not, because it's not as widely publicized, and they're not
pushed as much
by the same level as the male athletes are, and so it's just not as well known. I mean, everyone knows there's a WNBA. No one knows. Most people couldn't even, I'm one of them, I couldn't even tell you the names of 5 fucking WNBA teams or leaders in the league. Like it's something that we all need to get better at and do better at as a society. But like Austin said, like they're not getting paid because the money's not there. Like they're just not as well exposed. They're not as promoted. They don't have the same sponsors. They aren't playing in the same arenas. Like it's just so much work needs to be done that you can't just say like, yeah, we need to get better. We should watch more WNBA. Like just turning one game on instead of turning on an NBA game isn't going to make any difference. Like it's so defeating almost, because like we know that there's a ton of work that needs to get done, and not just in the WNBA, just for females everywhere. Like there's just such blatant ingrained inequality, and even if we can acknowledge it, like there's just it almost feels like nothing can be done because so much work needs to be done to not even reverse it, just to get us on the same level. That it's just like, obviously, like we want to try to get the same compensation as men, and to be treated as equals in business meetings and in conversations, and it's just, it doesn't feel like it's going to happen. So sometimes it just kind of feels like, what's the fucking point in even trying?
Big facts. Big fact. I had a random question that popped up in my head.
Okay.
If the random question is this is really completely just out of left field, but you said it, I was like, damn, can I name 5 NBA teams and said players? That's all I was thinking in my head. And I was like,
WNBA player?
Yeah, I can name 5 WNBA players, but can I name 5 teams?
I'll be dead ass. I really can't.
Yeah.
So there's Maya Moore, who actually took off a year because she was trying to help get a man out of prison who was wrongly convicted.
Obviously, Parker.
And
Parker.
Did it though.
Let's
go.
And did
not
it.
Doris Burke, but
got out there.
We had
Doris Burke. I was like, what?
Sue Bird. Then you have Diana
Bird,
Taurasi, the GOAT. Then you have Chika Ogumike.
Lisa Leslie.
Current. Tia Thompson.
Oh, you said current.
We used to have Brittany Griner when she was.
I barely watch sports as it is, so it's just like I don't know.
But now teams, you got the Minnesota Lynx, LA Sparks, Chicago Sky. I can't name.
No.
Washington Mystics.
Because there's only really 4 good teams. Those 4 teams are usually the ones that win the championship.
See, when it comes to sports teams, it's different. I'd rather watch like
Seattle
individual female play.
Seattle doesn't.
Like tennis. I'd rather watch women's tennis than men's tennis.
But tennis players get
real.
paid, bro.
I know, but I just like individual competition.
So does women's like women's golf, dude. They get paid too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I watch both of those, like individual, but sports is just like
it's hard. Man. That's what I'm saying. It's like go ahead,
the thing that is attractive about male sports is just the sheer athleticism, almost in a way. If you're not attracted to like, if you're not truly in love with like sports and fundamentals, and like stuff like that. I'm talking about for a casual viewer of sports like myself. You know what I'm saying? Like it's hard to get into that. But like,
you can't cap, bro. Like, let's be honest. Like, I've watched like even women playing football, right? Like, I'm not saying this to be sexist. I'm saying this to be honest. Nobody is out there doing stuff like Odell Beckham Jr. They're just not. You're not going to see that. Odell, you know what I'm saying? But I see what Charles is saying. But you're also not going to see anybody dunk like LeBron or Zach LaVine.
Women in the WNBA were dunking like everyone in the NBA, bro. I would watch that shit over the NBA.
They don't need a dunk.
I'm gonna keep it a stack.
No, but
they don't need a dunk.
We talking about posterizing dunks like that. Every other play highlights like that, bro.
They truthfully don't need a dunk, though. Like,
that would be crazy.
Because in basketball, we don't even watch for that now. Like, who's everybody?
But there's more girls slowly being able to dunk, though. So I think it's like somewhat building up.
But dunking don't do nothing if you can cross somebody over and shoot a three.
If you can't get the casuals on your side, it's kind of just like this sport is almost bound to fail.
Charles, you would get the casuals, right? Because that's what I'm saying. Like, if people love Steph Curry, if people love Damian Lillard, these are people who are strictly perimeter, right? Kevin, like, the WNBA play got Diana Taurasi.
I'm sure there are mad perimeter players out here. We just don't know their names.
That's what I'm saying. Diana Taurasi is really one of the greatest, like the Kobe of the WNBA.
I don't know
giving people buckets.
We went from to this, but I think this is a good conversation to have too as well.
I guess it's challenging, right? Because the part is like, as much as you want to be like an ally and you want to say the right thing, but there's just there's certain things that like people expect out of sports, and I feel like that's the perception, is it, right? Because it's weird, right? When it comes to the Olympics, we're all tuned in, right? Because we know this is like the top of the top, right? We know the women's sport. Go ahead.
I really like that I really got into is female MMA. They really be throwing hands out here, and they really about that action. They about that smoke. That is crazy. That's one thing I always watch.
Fighters,
like
the women.
Shout out to Amanda Nunes. Like, baddest. I ain't want no smoke with that,
bro.
No.
She said when a lioness has that cub, they're even scared. When she said that, I was like, yeah, ain't nobody beating her, bro. When she said that, I was like, any woman that tries to contend with her, bye.
See, I think the UFC did a good job at promoting it and building it up, though. They actually got us interested in watching and invested because.
But think about.
I just think the NBA, the NBA handled the WNBA. They just did a poor job at promoting it.
But think about the sport. Think about the sport you're explaining. You're talking about like fighting, wrestling. Like,
that's true.
It's the same for both men and women. Like, basketball looks a lot different versus man versus women. You know what I'm saying? Football looks a lot different. Soccer looks exactly the same. That's why I said the Olympics, right? Sports like that are, like
women's
soccer
is way better in the Olympics than the men.
Because they always win.
The women's soccer, not just the US. I'm saying like women's soccer is more intense like than the men's soccer.
Yeah, because they
like for the Olympics, I'm saying more.
Yeah, I feel like the men, they like have like. Because like,
the funny thing about women's soccer is like, it's gonna sound, this is like a super mad misogynistic statement for me to say, but they don't flop like the guys do. The guys be flopping hard as hell. The women be throwing down the women's soccer. They don't be doing that shit at all, bro.
Women don't flop.
That's why I think I like women's soccer more. That's what I'm saying. They just be like, they'll be flopping. Like women's soccer, you be touching a soccer player. They be men's soccer player. They be flying back. We see where LeBron got it from. Shout out.
I've noticed that. I've noticed that.
Tie it all back in.
I noticed that in a lot of women's sports, though, they are like way more like they're way more like not with the bullshit. Like in almost every sport, like they'll be flopping or like they'll just do like there'll be guys like kind of playing the game, but like women, they'll be like, I'm going to run through you before I'm going to just fall on my ass.
Because historically, the media reacts to women getting injured or upset as being hysterical and crazy, whereas men, they're working through the pain. I mean, if you look at Serena Williams, like how she was treated for getting disqualified or getting upset about a shot.
Oh, that's very true.
She's portrayed in the media as being hysterical instead of being really passionate about her sport like her male counterparts.
Correct.
So women have to be stronger and they have to not flop, because if they did, they would be dramatic and they would be and they
what's his name?
taken it seriously. And so women in general are more private about any struggles that they're going through because they're portrayed in the media as being weak for being open about their struggles, whereas men are praised for it. And
That's true.
No,
another,
you bring
Those
up
two tennis players that broke their
institutionalized
records.
sexism in all of society is that women have to suck up everything that they're going through because people will write them off way easier. And so it's just another thing that just even plays itself in sports and just plays itself out in conversation like we're having here, that like, yeah, the women's freaking soccer in the Olympics is cooler because they don't flop. Yeah, because they can't, otherwise they'll be seen as fucking pussies. Like there's no other option.
Hey, Joe. International Women's Day.
Oh, hey,
Throwing the
let's
pussy
go.
around.
Let's go. I love the energy,
I
man.
didn't expect the pussy to get thrown out there.
It's fucking true.
I know it is.
It is
true,
mad
but
true.
I didn't know that was getting thrown.
Wait, did they get mad at Serena Williams for breaking her racket? Even though we seen the top tennis stars do that shit. So we saw a dude slap himself in the head 5 times with his tennis racket. Talk about that's all passion.
About like the grunting and stuff too.
Yeah.
Women's like tennis, which is
crazy. So Serena, it was really weird because she called out the whatever, the referee or the umpire or whatever, the official, that's what it's called in tennis. She called out the official for making a bad call. So that official, for whatever reason, felt wayward, and he immediately just was like, you know what, I'm just gonna disqualify you and let me not. And that was like bullshit. Yeah. So like that's what I'm saying. Serena, like that, and when it comes to situations like that, that's when I'm like, okay, maybe like, you almost want to say like, maybe we would be better off if it was just like women who referee women's, but like that's being so like segregating and sexist. But it's like, if me as a man, if I come out on the top of the booth and I feel like, oh, why are you even questioning my call, right? Because it's a lot different when the dude is like 6'5" or 6'8", 270 pounds and towers over you to be like, talk back and forth. But if you're, because again, like Rachel said, it's like the ingrained sexism in our culture. Sometimes it pops up with even us knowing. And I feel like you're doing a disservice to the sport, right? Because the sport of tennis is that like one-on-one, who's the best, who has the best, what is it called? Serve, and who has the best, like, what is it called? Volley, or I don't know what it is, whatever it is. But Serena is the GOAT, right? Like, no matter what we say, right? Serena won a whole tournament while pregnant. There's no man who can do that, right?
That's insane.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
that's insane.
And we talk about all, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm tired of talking about people's negative, right? Like, we used to get on LeBron for losing finals until we realized like how great LeBron was, right? I'm tired of it. I want people to start talking about that. Like, name somebody else that is more accomplished than Serena Williams in the sport of tennis. And the fact that you have a newcomer, what's her name? Naomi, whatever her name, and people are trying to compare them to when they're not comparable. Like, one is just starting a career and one is on the tail end of their career. It doesn't make sense to me.
I don't know about that, dog.
No, I'm tired of it. We gotta
stop girl didn't beat her 3 times in a row.
Because she's in the tail of her. Oh my God, Charles.
No, she's younger. I'm saying T can have the potential to be where Serena's at. Let's not do that. Let's not do that.
Serena in her prime versus old girl. Who's winning?
Who knows? Nobody knows. Probably Serena. Honestly.
That's my point.
But I'm not gonna do the Patrick Mahomes versus Tom Brady shit because we saw how that shit went out. And we was not expecting that shit to happen. No, but that's the exact same argument. You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm not making the argument.
It's GOAT versus the baby GOAT type of shit that people try to do.
It's actually not the same argument because that's a team sport versus one-on-one. Like, so you can't exactly.
I don't know who had 2 interceptions. Who has 4 interceptions and 2 touchdowns in the Super Bowl career compared to Tom Brady? I didn't realize that
the entire game of football was played with just 2 quarterbacks. That's crazy.
And he also had 2 wide receivers drop wide open touchdowns.
I mean, I see Patrick Mahomes come back down 28-3. I'm just saying.
We've got off.
But I'm talking about
do this.
I'm talking about somebody who got hit in the face mask with the ball because he wasn't expecting it to be on point because he threw it damn near horizontal.
I'm just saying it's different because it's individual sports played against each other. But did Tom Brady not play Patrick Mahomes in that Super Bowl, who had a better game? Was it even close?
Well, I'm going to just say this. I don't want the comparisons. I just want us to appreciate greatness. It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. Just appreciate
Y'all
what's
was
good.
making all those comparisons, though. I think it's a pretty
No. But
thing to say.
That was an
when somebody
example,
tries to
Charles.
compare it to go to something to somebody who's the baby goat or quote unquote come up and surpass them. And that's what everyone tried to do with Mahomes, but we all saw what happened in that Super Bowl, and it will never be let down. So it's whatever. It is what it is.
He was just saying, if you had Naomi, who's in the beginning of her career and like up and coming, against Serena at her, starting point of her career, like they're not comparable. You don't know because you didn't play Pat Mahomes in his third season against Tom Brady in his third season. So even
Tom Brady in his third season won a Super Bowl.
Is like
so you could compare them.
So Pat Mahomes in his second season, his first season starting, won a Super Bowl. Who's better? With your baby
Tom
go
Brady
versus...
in his first season started coming in, won a Super Bowl too, bitch. Fuck you talking about?
But it took him his third season.
He sat
for 3 seasons, and Drew Bledsoe had to get
Patrick Mahomes sat for his first season too. So what are you saying?
But wait. But Pat Mahomes was always going to be the starter. Like, you're not understanding this.
Bro, how many times has he lost to Brady in the playoffs?
Twice.
Yeah, he 0-2 against him. So what are you talking about?
Charles, you brought this. This is not what we're talking about. Again,
no, but I'm saying like it's the same exact argument, but just with individual sports versus a team sport. Tom Brady is the GOAT of his sport. Serena Williams is the GOAT of her sport, and they're the older generation. Then you have these new age people coming in who can be potentially the new GOATs. Sure. That's all I was trying to make, but y'all wanted to make it into, just fuck Tom Brady just because y'all hate Tom Brady. And it is what it is. Like, damn, what the fuck? I was just trying to make a point. Like, fuck.
Ain't nobody talking about Tom, though, right now. Ain't nobody talking about Tom. We talk about equality, and we're talking about non-comparison of people, right? That's what I'm trying to say. The point I was trying to make is that if we love sports, if we love football, we love football. It doesn't matter if it's a man or a woman. If we love basketball, we love basketball. It doesn't matter if it's man or woman. My point is that we need to start thinking of sports as an equal playing field, because you know what? There's a lot of bums out here who only made it past high school, and that's the problem. Some of y'all didn't even make it to high school, and y'all feel like you have the voice to say something. I'm tired of it. Scratch that. If your ass run a 6'5", 40, shut the hell up forever. That's all I need to hear. That's my point.
Oh, he's trying to.
There's too many people. There's too many. I'm sorry to say it, but there's too many people who are overweight, haven't worked out, haven't even touched a weight. That is over here talking about athletes who are way better conditioned, have way better skill. Like, stop that. If you don't know what type of work it takes to do that, shut the F up forever. I'm gonna keep saying it. Like, anybody who's an athlete is never gonna. That's why sometimes I get passionate, right? Because it's like.
Okay. I just thought about the whole overall thing of the episode that I really want to talk about now, that it all tie into it. Okay. So we tell athletes to not speak about politics, right? Even though just shut up and dribble. Even though you will tell somebody who's been playing sports their whole entire fucking life, knows what decision to make, what the fuck they should have done when your ass didn't even make it to fucking, you wasn't even on the JV team in high school telling them, well, he should have did this, he should have did that. We have all these analysts, we have all these people telling these people what to do, and we mad at LeBron James for trying to utilize his platform for a good cause. The same people who will sit here and say, oh, he shouldn't have passed the ball. He should have shot it. Bitch, I'm sorry. Did you even make your elementary school basketball team? Shut the fuck up, please.
So my point.
You judging him for, oh, God.
My point is literally what I've been saying, Charles. You made it very clear.
It's crazy.
You can't be an analyst just because the person did something you don't like, right? I get we're very biased people. I get it. Like, we have Democrats, we have Republicans. But this is somebody who's using their platform, bro. The millionaires use their platform. I'm talking about Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, all these people use their platform. Elon Musk used their platform. Mark Zuckerberg used their platform. No smoke given to them. But why do we do it to sports players? Because you have a, and that's the sports politics you always talk about. bro, at the end of the day, this dude is still a person. Like, bump whatever you're saying, he a person. So for you to hate him, and that's my own growth, right? Because I was like, I used to hate LeBron, bro, because he took championships away from us, bro. We had to go. We had to go.
I've been ever since LeBron won Miami their first championship. I've been an avid LeBron. I mean, I'm just saying, I've been respecting LeBron. Like, I can't take that away from him. That was y'all recent. Chicago
because motherfuckers everybody says it. MVP Derrick Rose pre-knee injury was the scariest person on the court to guard. Therefore, we just needed to do the Chicago Bulls.
Scariest person on the court to
He was a problem, Charles.
A prodigal son.
He was no LeBron James.
Charles, stop playing. He took the
MVP alive.
He took the heat himself.
LeBron James should have won MVP every fucking year if we being real.
No, Charles.
Even the year that D Rose won that shit. Fuck are you talking about?
Charles,
it's like Michael Jordan. No, we ain't about to do this bullshit.
Charles, that real, he was unreal. He literally was unreal. Like, come on, bro. Like, the Bulls were like number 2 in the East.
The Eastern Conference Finals and lost to
the Miami number 2 in the East.
Who had 3 of the best top 5.
And my point.
3 of the best top 5 players. Y'all
and
really
he took them to 6 games.
Shit, man.
He took them to 6 games by himself.
Y'all was all chatty patties when y'all won that first game. Y'all was all chatty patties when y'all won that first game.
We had Carlos
I'm just saying.
We had
Mario Chalmers.
But you had Dwayne Wade, LeBron James, Chris Bosh.
Fuck, 3 good players. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Y'all had Joakim Noah, D Rose, Taj Gibson. Y'all was all hype.
It was Keith Bogans, Rip Hamilton when he was like almost 40.
Y'all all love to make excuses when you lose. I'm just saying. Y'all all love to make excuses when you lose. I'm just saying. Y'all love to make excuses.
It wasn't an equal matchup. It was just that we had a transcendent talent, and that was Derrick Rose. But back to my point, which is that we got to stop getting on these athletes when there's people like you just said, Ogre on the Mandalorian. There's a reason, especially because I feel like we don't understand like how much players actually educate themselves. Like these players they're not fronting. Like LeBron literally does the receipts. LeBron literally does the work, right?
He shut Buddy's ass up real quick.
That's what I'm saying. LeBron is actively in the community. He knows he was from the inner city. So that's my point. Like Maya Moore, who I said earlier, literally got a man who was wrongly convicted in prison out of prison. Like, why is nobody talking about that? But you want to talk about how he didn't speak up against how the China people were protesting? Dog, that's not even our country.
How China? Let's not get like a joke. So, how China treated their Hong Kong protesters? He never spoke out against that. It was like, oh, he's a slave to China or whatever because of his organization. It's just like we all slaves to China in the end when it comes to the shit we buying, bro. So why does it matter?
Because people feel like they need
people just love to use some shit just to prove a point, but at the same time, it's like you acting like you buying everything American made. You know how many people I know who have like vehicles that aren't even American made?
I have one. I got one. I think we all do. Do you got a car?
Motherfuckers all buying Hyundais. Motherfuckers all buying Hyundais. Talking about LeBron James supporting LeBron James supporting China. Come on, man. What are we doing?
I know I'm driving a foreign.
Oh my God.
I'm driving a foreign.
I drive a peak performance of Korean engineering, and that's my Hyundai Veloster. Peak performance.
You're driving a foreign.
That is a foreign as well too. But
I think it's time to wrap.
Oh, we did. Yeah.
He's driving a foreign. Foreign cars.
Every day. Okay, I'm done.
All right, Charles, wrap it up. Wrap it up. Bring it home, Charles.
Bring it home. Bring it all home. All right, I'll go ahead and do I'll go ahead and do the first one. You know, typical Sword Kage outro. Whether you're somewhere high, down low, or you just love to sit here and talk shit about these athletes who have a political view, But you ain't never even made a damn free throw in your life, you know. So remember to keep on living, but stop with that bullshit, though. I'm just passing on to someone else.
That was it. Look at Daisy with his wave.
Look at that.
Oh my god. What do I got? Equality makes the world go round, baby. On International Women's Day, I just wanted to give one more clap for Rachel. Happy International Women's Day, Rachel.
I'll just shout out all the strong, independent women in my life. I wouldn't be here without you.
Happy International Women's Day. That is my final go out right there. That was a round of applause for Rachel.
Can't go wrong with that.
Rachel looks like she wants to
Thanks for
punch
being
you.
Rachel. Rachel wants to go to bed, but happy International Women's Day to Rachel and to all.
Thank you.
Rachel? Yeah, the floor is
No,
yours.
Daisy, you go first. Rachel's gonna hold it down.
I was about to say Rachel definitely has to. I'm just gonna go and say equity. Equity is all that we need in this country. On top of, I'm being honest, because we can have equality, which means everybody is treated the same. But until we put our money where our mouth is, women, the culture, none of us is going to get where we want to get to where we want to be. And in this country, I hate to say it, when we all prosper, this country is actually a very good country, unbeknownst to a lot of people. So happy International Women's Day. Support your local podcasts. Shout out to RBZ. Shout out to Tess as well, because, you know, with all these women, this craziness doesn't go. I'm just gonna be honest.
Shout out to Tess after that story.
Pee on all of her clothes, all her belongings.
I'm gonna be very honest. I'm tremendously grateful for Tess and Rachel, because without them, a lot of things on the podcast would not get done. I'm just not calling out people.
I'm
just saying.
You're gonna hear no pushback from me.
I'm just saying.
You're gonna hear no argument.
It's like
no.
I just love clapping for Rachel.
No, it would be a lot less organization, a lot less things being planned. Let's keep it. The list goes on and on.
Google Drive. What is that?
Let alone just somebody besides myself posting on our social media, just simple stuff like that.
What is social? Daisy, what is social media?
Social media is the interaction of people that you may have known from a long time ago, and they do it on a common platform, and you share them, and you share interactions. So whether that's a comment, a post, an image, whatever, you share interactions.
It's a boomer. I deleted all that off my phone.
Subscribe, unsubscribe, resubscribe. There we go.
That's all. All right, and now I'm gonna just carry it out to Rachel, because she looks like she's just about done with us.
Rachel hates us talking about International Women's Day.
I can't. Respect women in general. Make the little changes in your life to respect people not like yourself. If you have to make a disclaimer before a statement, probably don't say it. Like, I'm not sexist, but, or I'm not racist, but, or I'm not homophobic, but don't say that shit. If you have to make a disclaimer, don't fucking say it. That should just be.
That happens way too much.
It's not.
I agree.
And understand that the women in your life are going through way more than you will ever even begin to understand, or you will ever even know about. So just respect all women in all walks of life. And understand that they're fighting an insane battle every single day.
Good thing I'm gonna go wake up Kate when I go in there.
Oh yeah, no.
And just whisper, "Happy International Women's Day" again.
And so that will make her so happy.
I mean, I told my girlfriend Happy International Women's Day.
I did tell her that, but she's probably
no, you didn't, Daisy.
Like, hey,
put money on it.
Last time.
Put $50 on it.
And with
send
that,
a screenshot to the text. Send a screenshot.
Virtually shake my hand. Put $50 on it.
What
think
you
he does
talking
now.
What you talking about? Sorry.
Keep it lovely.
We love you, royalty.